tried to spread it about to not make a great impact on any one line item, since they're all budgeted at pretty close to what we need to run the office and to do it effectively and maintain the services and provide the stability of the office for future years to come. Reducing or eliminating the archival supplies for this year, and again, this would be for this year only, are in particular archival quality sheet protectors where we store our vital records so that we do not handle them physically, so that our oils and our hands don't touch the records. They're inserted in these products. We can make copies right through them, and that's it for preservation purposes. So at this point, I would look to eliminating this item this year. Next year, I might put that one back if need be and take the money out of some other area.
So
It would be a
you have
trade-off.
some supplies already that you could
Yes,
continue to
definitely
utilize.
have some to carry us through for this year, and I'm not sure exactly how many, but we definitely have some supplies to carry us through. I would not let the records go without having them protected at this point.
And then as far as we were working on over the years, microfiche and that sort of a project, how's that
Yeah,
coming, going, or?
Yeah, when there's money available, then that would be done, but as of this point, that's at a standstill. And that would be the microfilming of various town records, correct?
But we started that.
Yes, we did, And I don't look at it as not being an ongoing project, but in these times, we have other priorities that have to be addressed in this particular current budget, the FY09. The election calendar was extremely busy, and there were requirements that necessitated us, having supplies and staffing and other things provided for just to cover the elections in this cycle. So that, of course, has to be a priority, and other items that are more of a preservation purpose will get put on hold. Next year, our election cycle goes down. If there's money available, then that would come to play. It would be a trade-off from year to year based on the mandated needs of the office, to run the programs that we have to run first. That would be the priority.
Thank you.
Any further questions on this portion?
Any other questions for Barbara? Finance Committee, Mrs. Jones?
Under the 3% reduction for our records budget,
Yes,
we reduced advertising by $510.
Correct.
I'm assuming this is not a state regulation. It's
The-
voter registration.
correct.
It's an option for the town.
Correct.
Not a problem for-
that is correct. I have to advertise election notices, the notice of the election itself, but voter registrations have historically been for the benefit of the public, to make them aware that there is a pending
We're not in
deadline coming.
violation.
We would definitely not be in violation of that, correct. And these days, not that everybody utilizes it, but we do have the website, and the website is maintained very currently with all of the deadlines of our office. So we try to utilize that and cable television. Again, it doesn't cover everybody, but we do the best that we can.
Perhaps the transcript.
We do a courtesy notice.
Sure, you don't notice on everything.
Take it under advisement.
Fred's gonna write a check.
Thank you.
Any other questions regarding records?
As far as the elections, which we've had much practice with this past year, the responsibilities for all elections, whether local, state, or federal, begins and ends with compliance and accountability to the Secretary of the Commonwealth, and includes all integral aspects of the election process, which includes maintaining central voter registry computer database, voter registration and voting list maintenance, assisting voters and processing absentee balloting, staffing and provisioning all precincts with adequate personnel, equipment, and supplies, training the staff and the election officers regarding constantly changing election laws and directives, certifying nomination papers and petitions, posting or post-election reports to the Secretary of the Commonwealth as well as other agencies, and assisting candidates with filing procedures and maintaining campaign finance summary, the town clerk's level services budget can fluctuate radically. This is directly due to the number of scheduled elections in a fiscal year. The good news is that this combined FY10 level services budget decreases in total by approximately $17,000 from last year's budget due to this decrease in the number of scheduled elections in the coming year. The only scheduled election under this budget cycle is for the in FY10 is the May 2010 town election. These reductions are reflected in the level services amounts regarding election worker salaries, professional services, which includes the police department details and programming costs for all of the machines, the advertising costs, as we stated, postage, which includes mailings to the residents when they register to vote or make changes, so naturally there would be fewer of those, and various other election-related supplies. This budget, though, does not include any funding, again, for any special town elections that are called by this board. The bad news is that the same level services budget will escalate once again, looking forward to FY11. As the calendar year changes and the election calendar increases to, again, a number of 3 scheduled elections in that budget cycle. So we go from 3 this year to 1 next year, and then back to 3 in FY11. So, as I said, the budget changes radically from year to year, and that is just the level services themselves. As we went over some of these, the requested 3% budget reductions are reflected in various line items under the records budget in a total of $3,800 and an additional $2,300 from the elections budget for a combined amount of $6,100. This 3% reduction is based on the current FY09 budget as approved, as we stated, not out of the adjusted 1.4 cut. And this year we have no miscellaneous capital requests under the budget.
Barbara, the subject has come up before regarding consolidating the voting to one location. I think primarily at the church, where there's substantial amount of parking and I think space. I know you spoke against it a year ago when it was brought up, but based on the fact that we're looking to save some money,
Well,
it'd be worthwhile revisiting that again.
Right, and understandably so. Of course, we would have to talk to the church about it and receive their approval. It was, I think I mentioned this once before, there were issues in other communities that residents resented having to go to any place of worship to have to vote if they were of a different faith. And it became an issue in some locations, some communities, at the very end, causing them to have to find different locations on a rather urgent basis. That is one of the considerations. You also have to consider traffic in and out of the facility, the savings that you might realize in police detail within the polling location. You may be expending on the outside for a traffic detail, at least one during at least the key times, maybe early in the morning. And if you do solicit that detail, you're paying for, I believe, 4 hours, and again during the dinner hour time, so you would probably be looking at from 4 to 8. Those are some of the considerations. The traffic flow to and from the facility on the road, and in this instance we're talking about Route 62, with Stop and Shop across the street, would people park and Stop and Shop as they do now to go to St. Teresa's Church for masses, and then there would be pedestrians crossing the street to get to the polling place. These are some of the factors to take into consideration. The decision as to the polling locations is in the hands of the Board of Selectmen. That Mass General Laws states that is your call. So if we are to consider it, we do have to we have to notify the Secretary of State 20 days ahead of the election, and stay with the 3 locations we have for the larger elections where we anticipate a higher volume of turnout, and go back, go to a single location for perhaps a smaller election. It's difficult to make that call sometimes as to what the turnout might be on an election, but you also have to know that when you do that, we must notify the Secretary of State 20 days before each election as to any changes in the polling location, and we must also send each residence in the town that has a registered voter a first-class letter stating that their polling location has changed. So if you go back and forth, you're sending letters constantly, and so these are considerations to be thought of before we make that change.
In the
It's
notice,
not that I'm against it. Ideally, it would be ideal from a town clerk standpoint to have everything in one location. But I'd have to look at issues such as traffic and the convenience to the public and lines and other issues like that, when I'm thinking about it. And then, as I said, of course, the decision is in your hands as to how you would want to go forward with that.
Can I ask a question?
yes, Mr. Vino.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So, Barbara, just so I'm clear, so if somebody from precinct 3 or 4 complained, we would not be able to use the church?
I don't know exactly what course we would take, but I believe that we would have to be looking into that. Yes, there's definitely the possibility that we would not be able to use the church at all.
I mean,
And find.
but could you use it for that election that was coming up?
If it's already stated, yes, we would. It has been called, the warrant, once the warrant is
Yeah.
signed and issued, the warrant
Okay.
states what the location is. I believe that you would need some kind of court action to stop us from doing that at that point. And then we would have to find a legal remedy to allow us to change the location, and it would be in a court injunction.
I guess I
would
just
say.
wonder if it would ever be an issue,
Yeah,
you know?
I don't know.
Yeah,
I
I know.
can't speak to
Yeah.
the will of the people.
Right, no, I know.
Don Keller.
Have there been such cases in Massachusetts?
There have. It was, I believe, maybe at the last presidential election, and it was in one of the bigger cities, and I forget which one, and they did have to change their location. And I recall that as the town clerks were communicating through email about it, there were other cities or towns that voiced that they had received some objections. I don't have that information on hand right
We've
now.
got two precincts that vote in
Correct.
now.
I have not had any complaints. I don't know if the board has had any of them. No.
Alan?
Yeah, it would just seem that whether we vote on one precinct, everyone in a single one, or we use St. Teresa's for just one or two, we face the same problem in terms of people that might not want to.
That's correct.
So that
We
really
do.
doesn't enter into the question.
Well, the only issue would be if you put all your eggs in one basket, so to speak, then you have to, again, get out there and find locations once again. At this point, we coordinate with St. Teresa's, we coordinate with the high school regarding sports programs and, making sure that our calendars are clear, and of course, here for the gym. So, there is a lot of, we look into a lot of things before we set the dates for anything that is in our control.
Mrs. Beadle?
I just want to make sure I'm maybe understanding. If someone from precinct 3 or 4 now feels uncomfortable voting, would they be given an alternate location to vote, or you would have to shut down?
The only alternate that I can offer them is that they can vote by absentee voting if they have an objection based on a religious belief to enter that precinct.
Absentee voting?
Yes, they would come
So
into
you
our
are-
office